This is the Husqvarna Viking Brilliance 75Q. This is a great machine whether you are a garment sewer, crafter, or quilter. It is a wonderful machine. It has great features built right on front and on this gorgeous color screen. Let's review just a few of these. We have speed control built in. Stop, fix, and cut are great little features. Stop is great if I just want to stitch one rotation or one design out of a decorative stitch. Fix will make a small controlled knot, so you can fix at the beginning of a seam or fix at the end of a seam, which is great. And then cut will cut your thread and pull everything to the back of the fabric, which is fabulous. We also have a start-stop ability, which means I can sew like cruise control. So I can touch start-stop and it will start sewing, and I can use my foot pedal as an emergency stop. So as I'm sewing along, and I can touch my foot pedal and it'll stop. I can also sew with my foot pedal. This is just an option that is available for you. And as you'll see, there is no lever to pick up and lower the foot. It is automatic. So as soon as I touch my foot pedal, it'll start to sew. It'll drop the foot and start to sew. It is fabulous. I have also the needle up, needle down position. And when I touch that, it'll lower the needle and raise the foot into a pivot point, which is fantastic if you're doing applique or if you're doing clothing, or you just need to adjust and fiddle. So it is fantastic that it lowers up or raises up into that pivot point. Because we don't have the lever here, our controls are here. So if I do want to lift up my foot, I can use up or down, raise or lower. And if I raise it up a second time, it's going to raise it all the way in the fully upright position and also lower the feed teeth for me, so that I have plenty of room to get whatever project in that I am trying to get in there. Okay. So it does have a free arm if you are doing, sleeves, collars, cuffs, handbags, pet clothing or pet projects. It is fantastic. The feed teeth, to lower the feed teeth, it's automatic when you raise up the presser foot. We also have this cool little feature there's a magnifying glass on the bobbin case, which I like. Okay, so let's move on over to the screen over here, which is fantastic. It's a full color screen, which makes this very easy to use. And as you can see, there's a lot, it's telling us stuff. So for this stitch that is selected, it's recommending a foot, it's recommending a needle, and it's letting us know what our stitch length and our stitch width is, and as well as our tension. And it's all right here. And it can all be adjusted with the little arrows on the side. So if I wanted to increase my stitch length, or if I wanted to move my needle over, I can do it right on the screen here, and I can visually see on the screen what is happening, which is really, really convenient. Okay. We also have this exclusive sewing system here, or exclusive sewing advisor here, and what this does is you can tell it what fabric you're working with. So if for instance, it's recommending a 90 needle because I have selected woven heavy. If I go to a woven light, I have now recommendation of a 70 needle. It'll change my tension, my stitch length, all of that, and it all happens automatically. If I wanted to go to a heavy, Once again, it's changing my tension, it's recommending a different needle, it's changing my stitch length, everything for the best results. I, of course, and you, of course, can override anything because it's giving recommendations, but we know what we're doing. Okay, but if you are a beginner sewer, this is fantastic because it really will help hold your hand while you're getting used to sewing. So I'm going to go to a woven medium. And over here, so this is our main screen, and there's another little tab up here, and this is where we will find our stitches. And our stitches, we have a lot of stitches. So right now we're just in the utility stitches, but if I come here and touch and hold on the stitch selection, you can see the menus continue down. And I can just scroll down, and there's just scroll, 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 scroll. I can also do directional sewing. So if I wanted to make a quilt label, I can choose to sew a decorative square around my quilt label. And then on directional sewing, I can direct it which way I want to sew. So if I want to create patterns and stuff like that, which is fantastic. So let me show you one of the applique stitches. So this is just one of the many exclusive stitches that are available. I'm going to go ahead and use the start stop function, and you'll see how it'll just drop the foot and start to go. And it's going to stop because it's an applique stitch. So it wants me to add fabric, and I will just touch start stop again, and it's going to applique around this fabric. And I've touched the stop so that it will stop, and I'm going to touch the scissors, and it'll cut my fabric thread and pull it to the back so it's nice and clean. And then we're going to come and trim away the fabric that isn't the inside of the applique. I do highly recommend applique scissors, but as you can see, it makes this beautiful little applique stitch. So this along quilt sashing or borders or along hems of skirts, even along button lines, it is really, really cute. So there are, like I said, there are plenty and plenty of stitches. And we also have the ability to do lettering. We have 4 different fonts to choose from. We have program capability. So if we wanted to program and I wanted to do lettering, I can say this is a Brilliance. So I've got the Brilliance. So lowercase r. And I can also program in stops. So if I wanted it to stop when I was finished, so it'll stitch once and then stop, I can do that. And I'll just hit the check mark to tell it that I'm done, and it's that easy to program. I also have the ability to save. There's a little heart right here, so if I were to touch that, I can save it. Having a save feature to save stitches is a wonderful feature. So anytime you get a stitch that you like, you can save it. Or if you have accessory feet where you set things up for that foot, you can save it. So it is very convenient to have everything just right at your fingertips. It also has a ruler across the bottom, which is fantastic and extremely useful. There is a small ruler right here, and this is for buttons, because this has a sensor button system that creates perfectly balanced buttonholes. So you plug the buttonhole foot in, you lay your button here and tell it what size, type in what size it is, and it'll make perfectly balanced buttonholes every time. It is amazing. Another feature about the Husqvarna Viking that's nice is I can wind a bobbin from the needle. I can come straight up here and wind a bobbin without unthreading. It is awesome. So this is the Husqvarna Viking Brilliance 75Q, and come and take a look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous.